Hello. Hello, Fluffs. And hello, friends. Welcome back to a video that isn't the normal, but that's alright because today we'll be celebrating a big milestone. 25,000 Fluffs. 25,000 individuals who decided to stick around the channel or stop by and, well, I'm sure you know, get some sleep or just have a better day. Now, you may be hearing me a little bit emotional, and I should probably stop making videos like these that scare people, because it makes it seem like it's more than it actually is. But for the past few years that I've been doing this content for, I found myself to be a lot more emotionally driven with what I do, essentially, because, you know, fostering this channel for so long and interacting with so many amazing people and seeing and hearing so many amazing things can leave you pretty attached. And especially last year and 2024, late 2024, I found myself being so sensitive with this channel, sensitive towards everything that has to do with this channel, essentially. Because truly, when I see the numbers, I forget how lucky I am sometimes. And one thing I don't exactly get to talk about very often is I speak little about the comments I read, but I do affirm to you that I read them all. I read them all independently, and I do my best to, make sure it's seen. One thing that will forever bother me, especially in moments like these where I will sit in front of a camera and be as real as possible with you, is I have to accept the fact that I will never be able to have any sort of true human-to-human connection, or I won't be able to show you any of the love that you've all shown me. And, that really kills me. It disheartens me, because it's something that I'm just going to have to deal with. Reading comments, especially those who show me how much of an impact I have on their lives and the change that I can give people. There's particular ones that stick out the most and remind me of my younger version of myself and how I lacked any positive reinforcement in my life or people that I could look up to. They'll start off with, the nice things, whether it be, oh, you made me smile, this is a better start to my day than most. And then I'll read the tail end of that comment, and it will say something like, you saved me today. You saved me today. I know I said this already, but I am. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I am lucky to be where I am and how I can affect your life, essentially. Because I've lost people to suicide and people who have taken their own lives. And for the way I feel, I can't imagine how their family feels. But I certainly do feel it. And to read stuff like that, I'm sorry, is... Especially with videos like these, I feel immense guilt because I don't want to make you sad. I don't want to make it seem like I'm going anywhere or I'll disappear. And, you know, it really feels like I have to make sure you have a little bit of hope. The same way that you keep me going is really, it's really hard to process, is to say the least. It is terribly hard to process, but I want to try my best to keep going and making sure you know that you matter. Losing people isn't easy. And whatever pain you're feeling and whatever hardship you may be going through, there's people that care about you. And I guess this all circles back to, you know, the effect that we have on people. Every single one of us. It isn't only me. You have an effect on someone. Whether it be positively or negatively. I rather choose the first option. You know, you have an effect on someone. And being positive doesn't cost a dime. It's free. And for the time I spend on Earth, for however long I stay here, and whenever God decides that it's my time or something tragic happens, I want to make the most of the time frame I have. And I've certainly tried my best, and am trying my best to do that certain thing, because to be as fortunate as I am to be in my position, I can affect a lot of people. And I don't want to make this type of video or type of videos a reoccurring theme because, you know, it's not really good vibes. It doesn't put a smile on your face, it just makes you more sad. But I want to be able to be completely transparent with you, you know, without you looking at this character, you know, there's a human behind this. One that maybe you would say cares too much, and worries about the wrong things, or is, you know, too emotional. I care for you. And saying thank you wouldn't be it wouldn't be enough, essentially, to put in the words how thankful I am that you're here. That you're here still kicking. And being you. And if has anyone told you that today, if no one else has said that to you in the last week or month, you matter. And I care so much about you, and I get how this could probably get into that whole parasocial thing, but, you know, person to person, behind your phone screen or your computer or whatever you decide to watch this on, you matter so much. Not only to me, but the people that you care for most. Sorry for getting on that tangent. During the time that I've done this for 2 to 3 years, maybe it's going on 4 now at this point, I found it hard to connect with people. I found it hard to connect with people IRL, online, people in general. I found human connection to be a very, very foreign concept to me, essentially. Until I had this. Until I had all of you in this channel. I owe it more than just my determination, but I owe it to the people who've stuck around and the people who've decided to stay. Because I don't really have a lot to be proud of for myself. And I'm afraid one day I'll lose the only thing that I feel that I can, foster for so long. And whether that be some tragic event or, God forbid, boredom, I just want to leave some sort of mark and have some sort of positive outlook towards it all, so you can have the same. Sorry, I'm being a big baby right now, but this is as real as they can get. You've given me a reason to be proud of what I could do. For my entire life, it felt like I was some sort of wasted talent or potential, or I've always fell short. Expectations that were set on me because that's what happens when you are, I guess, an only child, you could say. But I do firmly believe that you're a product of your environment until you fortunately grow a consciousness and know that you don't have to follow down that path. Now, I don't want to seem like I'm pity farming in any ways, but I didn't have a very good upbringing or place that would foster a child that could have the most positive outlook on life, whether it be family members in and out of prison like parents or drug abuse in the household. It wasn't right for a child to be in that situation, but sometimes that's all you have. And I didn't want to follow in any of these footsteps. And I'm sorry, once again, if this is just too much information for you, but it all just comes full circle in how I feel about this one thing that I really, really care about, and all these amazing and beautiful people that follow along with this thing that I've essentially fostered for over 4 years now at this point. And to have that as the backbone. And it's just like a glass casing in front of me that I will never have any type of personal connection with any of these people. And they show me so much love. People just like you. And I just have to sit here and, do my best to generalize it, I guess. Because that's all I can do as a human. I do wish I was more like a robot. And I could just sit down at every single one of you, talk to you, and get to know each and every single one of you the way that you probably know me by now. But I can't. I can't do anything like that. But I try. And that's all that matters. And I really try to get that through my brain at times. And you all help me. And I really do thank you. I really do thank you for all the support and all the genuine care that you give someone online, as much as I see it more than it actually is, I guess, for other people. I could say that I'm lucky all day, and I could say that I miss out on so many opportunities to reach out more. But I know that would be tearing myself up more than what it actually is, and how much I could actually take. Sorry. I keep apologizing, but it's just a normal reaction when you find yourself in states like these, I guess. I wish I could show you more of how I could show you how much I really, care. And I do my best by trying to give you the most authentic videos that I can, without being too much, essentially, because I know too much of anything can be a lot for people, and they may push them away. But for those who stick around and, genuinely want to just see themselves having a better day, or have the room to smile for once in a place where you find yourself in a negative space and people always putting you down, I know how that is. The same way that you find yourself escaping reality through my videos or through any form of me, it's the same way I try to escape reality too. And I think it will always be that way. Yet I still find myself so afraid, so afraid that all this will one day vanish, and I'll have to move on to better things so I could just live a life that doesn't depend on, this, essentially. And I know you would all understand, but still hurts. It kills me to think about. "2026 hasn't started off the best way. And it's affected the way that I've made videos, it's affected the way that I've looked at YouTube. Recently my father was hospitalized, and he's had a lot of health complications. And I, behind the scenes of these videos, I do my best to take care of my family and my disabled father, with my mother really just doing her best to work as well. I mean, it almost feels like my knees are starting to buckle for once. Trying to hold up the weight of everyone around you and feeling like you're kind of the only one that they can depend on. It's very, very stressful. And YouTube and all of you were my outlet, my creative outlet, my way that I could show a little bit more emotions, at least the positive ones, without feeling that I would be shot down or make it seem like I'm any less of a human than anybody else. It's been hard, but I know that I have to keep going the same way you have to keep going. You can't give up. Because if you ever feel like giving up, it's going to be 100 times worse if you ever choose to give up entirely for somebody else you'll pass it on to. I've lost close friends to that exact thing. And I never got to say goodbye, or I never got to say how I truly felt. And there's a specific set of words that stick along with me from a friend that, was taken away too soon, and that I never understood for a long time. But it was a phrase I kept hearing over and over again. Is that one day I'll be younger than you. He was a couple years older than me, and I never got what he was saying. But I soon did. He's still 16, and I'm now 19 years of age. This happened all about 5 years ago. Once again, I can only imagine the grief that his family still experiences, and my condolences goes out to them, and I hope his soul has found rest. If you ever feel like you're down on your luck, or if you hit rock bottom, I really do want to cement it into your head that people care. People really care for you. I'm sorry this video has gone all over the place, but it's the most authentic way I can present myself to you without feeling like I have to pretend or hide. You know, I see people seeing all the subliminal messages that I leave in my videos, and most of them are supposed to be lighthearted, but it's a reflection of me. This channel as a whole, is a reflection of myself. And a lot of that, if not all, is based on you. The feedback I hear, the people who I interact with, it's... For once, I know I've said it before, it feels like home. It feels like I've genuinely found a home with amazing people who seem proud of my work. You know, not having that for a majority of your life, it affects someone. And when you finally get something like that, it's like a drug that you just can't get over. Sometimes you favor it so much that you kind of rip apart your mental in a way, and you don't think about yourself too much. You think about the people. And I found myself going down that rabbit hole for quite some time now, at least for a couple of years. But if it doesn't show how much I really, really care, then I don't know what will. I'm sorry for dragging this out to be much longer than what it has to be, but I really am grateful and thankful for you fluffs, for allowing such a silly human being to be where he is. Because I know the saying, I don't know where I would be without you, but it's true. I really don't know where I would be. But I'm unbelievably grateful that I'm here. And one day I really do hope that I can inspire some of you to share the same positivity with those around you, because you'll never know when the important things around you are gone. Take the time to really make sure the people that you care for most knows that they are cared for. Because some of us need it. Some of us really, really need it. I thank you for taking a moment to listen to me today and act like a big baby in front of you, but I'm glad we got to sit here and I get to speak to you a little bit more like the person behind the camera and, well, the person behind this little anthropomorphic character. I do hope that we can continue this on, and I do hope that we continue to grow and help others around us while doing our best to be a light in someone else's lives, especially if we haven't experienced that ourselves. Positivity will always be free. It won't cost you a dime. Now, before I start crying again, I should probably end it off here. I thank you all for tuning in, and I thank you all for helping the channel grow to where it is. I hope to see you all again soon, and may you all have a blessed, blessed day. Goodbye, friends.